If you take him out to about the area where you want him to go, you can actually set up sort of a potty area in his mind. When you get him there, give him your potty command, whatever you want that to be. I use go potty. So you tell him go potty, and then you stop moving. If he circles around you, you can just, take the leash from hand to hand, but you're not out there to explore the yard. You're out there for him to get his business done. If he goes, as soon as he starts, you want to be really quiet. It's our instinct to maybe want to praise him at that moment, but if you praise the puppy while he's going, sometimes he gets very excited and stops because he's excited that you're praising him. So while he's going, be quiet. As soon as he's done, yes, good puppy, good potty, and give him a reward. It's a really great way to if your puppy is successful at pottying when you take him outside and do that, then when he gets inside, he has earned some freedom. He has the right to be out and about for a little bit. If you take him out and he doesn't go, then put him back in his crate. Leave him there for 10, 15 minutes, take him out and give him another opportunity. Remember that a puppy, again, different things trigger the need to go. So first thing in the morning, your puppy's just awakened, needs to go out and go potty. He comes back in, you feed him breakfast. Well, you can expect that after he eats breakfast, he's probably going to need to go out again. Again, it's a right to be loose in our homes until you can trust him. So your puppy should not just be free in your house unsupervised until you think he's reliable. So when he's out in the house, you need to either be able to watch him, and if you think you're going to get distracted with doing the dishes or watching a TV show or being on Facebook, just attach his leash to him and attach the leash to yourself so he can't get very far from you, and you can actually focus on what he's doing. If your puppy does have an accident in the house, if you catch the puppy, if you see him in the process, try to yell no or stop sharply to get his attention, startle him. If he stops, snatch him up, run outside, and if there's anything left for the yard, praise him. If he does go in the house and he doesn't stop, I recommend against snatching and running, because if the puppy can't hold it anymore and he's peeing, then instead of having a pond, you have a pond and a river, and the cleanup is a lot bigger. So you'll just want to get it cleaned up. Do not punish your puppy. Don't rub his nose in it. Don't spank him. Dogs don't understand spanking. What he does understand, if you start to punish him for that, is that obviously that's a very bad thing for you to see, and so he needs to try to go where you can't see it. So that's when puppies hide behind chairs or sneak into closets or do things like that. So you don't see it right away. You don't see it until the smell gets you a couple days later. So you don't want to punish a puppy. The old saw is, if your puppy goes in the house, you need to get a newspaper. Like the Sunday newspaper is the best one because it's really thick. Roll it into a really tight tube. Walk over with your puppy to the spot, and then take your puppy and set him aside away from you, and take that newspaper and you smack yourself really hard in the head and say, bad me, I didn't watch my puppy, because it's your job to teach him. A lot of puppies aren't going to learn. People expect a dog to go over to the door and bark. Some dogs will learn that. A lot of dogs don't. One thing that will work for some dogs is to hang a bell on the door and hang it down at your dog's nose level. Every time before you open the door, just move the bell so that it rings, then open the door. A lot of dogs will start to understand that and will figure out to go make the bell ring. And when you hear that bell, you let the dog out. If you don't use bells, watch the dogs for whatever. Most dogs will give you a warning that they need to go out, so watch them for their triggers. I have a dog that will just go kind of about 3 foot from the door and look at the door, and then she'll look at you. That's all she does. She expects you to pay attention to that. So figure out what your dog's triggers are. What are their subtle cues that are telling you that they need to go outside? Does that help? Okay. What more can I? What's your concern?
Actually, like, won't do anything towards the door. You could be sitting there with her, and she can sit down and pee right in front of you.
Okay. So you want to figure out. Have you been able to figure out what her schedule is?
It's just any time she decides to.
Okay. If it seems like she's going a lot more than you would expect her to, if a puppy starts to establish or display really erratic potty behaviors, You may want to just catch a urine sample, take it into your vet, and make sure she doesn't have an infection. You cannot train a urinary tract infection. But if she's doing that and there's no infection, then you probably need to do a lot more crate to outside and no freedom in the house until she goes. You need to figure out how often is she going? Is she going every hour, every 2 hours, every 3 hours? If it's about the schedule where she would need to go, then you need to take her out. And if she doesn't go, she needs to be in the crate and move back and forth until she does go. And by that, again, earns her freedom in the house. Anybody have another question?